Emmett, we were just talking about business. We're talking about the natural progression of different industries, of different companies and whatnot. And I'm going to just throw something out there, and I want you to kind of relate it back to dentistry. So we think about the brick and mortar stores, right? It started with like the mom and pop stores, right? And then as you and I were growing up, it became these mega stores like Walmart and Target. And as now, when we're
and Barnes and Noble.
yeah, and now that we're older adults, it's our kids are seeing kind of like the change in, well, now the brick and mortar stores are facing the competition from the online retailers, right? And then, well, among the online retailers, then there's these behemoths, right? Like an Amazon. And so, with dentistry, we were just talking about that sometimes people are married into kind of like the old way. And I wanted you to kind of explain that, what you were
Well, I just think that it's human nature to really mourn and suffer through loss, right? The feeling of losing something. When I was in the financial planning world, they did some measurements, and if you gained 10% in the market, the elation of that was like a tenth of the pain of losing 10% in the market, right? So we know that loss has a physical and psychological effect on us that's very painful. So how does that apply to dentistry? As it changes, people can get stuck in the loss, right? And sometimes the organizations and associations that are trying to help protect the industry, keep it ethical, all the right things, also can get caught up in trying to hold on to the past, even though that's not its core purpose or the reason that it's there. It's just, again, human nature, and it's ran by humans, right? Yeah. So I think for all of us, what we have to push through, and the mindset that's so difficult, is what is the future, and letting go of the past and embracing the future. And what's hard, and this takes some faith, is believing that the future actually can be better. Yeah. It's definitely different. It's not the same. And there is a transition period where it can feel worse, but it can be better. I mean, no one can argue that the convenience of a Home Depot and a Target and so forth.
Or Amazon getting things delivered to your front door.
Well, and so that's, you laid out in the beginning, sometimes we're like, oh, wow, Walmart, that's terrible. If you're the mom and pop, you're like, Walmart, that's terrible. But then Walmart's going to face the next thing. The consumer and the customer is going to continue to drive a desire for more convenience, right? Lower cost, a status symbol items, whatever it might be. There's different experience, et cetera, different things they're driving towards. And so I think applying it to dentistry right now, everyone's maybe demonizing the DSO concept, right? Because it's the Walmart, if you will, or the Target of the situation. But the reality is the future will change yet again and again and again. No one is immune to the reality that consumers constantly want better and better, more and more, and so forth. So I think, the takeaway for us as leaders is what's going to be our mindset. How are we going to manage loss that happens in our life? And how are we going to capture the future? And more importantly, too, because we're all humans, how are we going to surround ourselves with individuals that help support us to do that? Because what we tend to do is run in tribes. And so we can run in tribes of people trying to protect the past and angry about the future. Or we can run in tribes who, they mourn the past and they wish it wasn't always changing because it's a lot of work for them. But there's a reality in the future. They're excited about it and they go and take it on.
I love it.
So I think continue to build networks that look to the future.